Hi everyone, it's Sunny here from Impact Management Solutions, and today we're going to be showing you how to register your Australian Business Number, or ABN for short. So we're on the ATO website, and I'll read you a quick introduction to what the ABN is. So the Australian Business Number is the identifying number that businesses use when dealing with other businesses. You generally need to quote an ABN on your invoice or other documents relating to sales that you make to other businesses in order to avoid having an amount withheld to you. So I'm just going to quickly switch here. If you don't quote an ABN on your invoices or other sales relating documents, then business clients will have to withhold 46.5% of the payment unless the total payment for the goods or services is $75 or less. Okay, so basically you need to put an ABN on your invoices and other sales documents in order to have 46.5% in order to not have 46.5% withheld. Okay, so now we're just going to scroll down to the entitlement to an ABN. So in order to apply for an ABN, you obviously must be entitled. So to be entitled to an ABN, you must follow one of the three conditions. You must be a company. You either must be a company registered under the corporations law in Australia, a government entity, or an entity that is carrying on an enterprise in Australia. There are also conditions for a non-resident entity, and you can read that in due course. Now, if we now go to how to actually register Australian Business Number, you need to go to abr.gov. So type that into Google and it will come up instantly with the Australian Business Register as the top result. So we'll wait for that to go. You need to click on Apply for Australian Business Number and other registrations. Once you hit that, you need to read all the stuff here and click Continue Application. Okay, and then you actually get into the whole application. Now we won't go through the whole application, but basically you need to fill everything out accordingly. And it's worth noting that this point here, applicants who are individuals or sole traders must apply for a tax file number using a paper application. So if you are therefore applying for a tax file number for your company, partnership, trust, or other organization, or a superannuation entity, you can do that. So you can do that online. But for now, we're just going to quickly fill this out. Do you have a previously? No. Okay, does the applicant wish to apply for an ABN? Yes, we do. Does the applicant have a tax file number? Let's say we do. Do we wish to apply for one? Therefore, no. Let's hit next. Okay, so what type of organization is the applicant from? You need to select one of these. Basically, you'll know exactly which one. Most of them actually come in the form of an Australian private company, but you do get partnerships and trusts, etc. But most of the time, people select private company. If you don't know what structure to choose, there's always these help arrows, help buttons here, the question marks. Okay, so is the applicant an Australian resident for tax purposes? Most of the time, you are. Is the applicant exempt for income tax purposes? Most of the time that's a no. And is the applicant a not-for-profit? Most of the time that's a no as well. Okay, so what do we want to register the business for fringe benefit tax, luxury car tax, or wine equalisation tax? Obviously, if you're in the wine industry, then go ahead and register that. If you're in the luxury car industry, register that. FBT, most people, most businesses, when they get to a medium size, will require FBT, but generally in the startup phase you don't really require it. So it's up to you whether you want to click FBT or not. We're just going to click it anyway. If the applicant uses or intended to use services from a tax agent, what is the tax agent's registered number? So you can just put that in or hit next. It's up to you.